Good morning, guys. Welcome in. How are you all doing? Welcome, welcome. Welcome in, guys. My assumption is that we are not going to have many people here, but that's all right. That's all right. Welcome in. Welcome in. It is a beautiful Friday. I hope you guys all had a nice Thanksgiving if you celebrated it. Welcome in. Half day in the market today with some CME closure as well. CME is closed right now. CME is not trading. ES is not trading. ES is not trading. So a lot of interesting things happening here. I think actually the ES just opened. I think it just opened. I think it just started. I think it just opened, but there were data issues on CME. Actually, it's still not trading. You see, it's still not trading. So ES still not trading, and the NQ obviously also on the CME also not trading. Right. So interesting. NQ's trading now. Okay, NQ's trading at least. It's obviously moving here. ES should be trading as well soon, which is strange because ES is obviously part of CME. Welcome in, everybody. Hope everyone had a nice Thanksgiving. There's no live trading today. We're just here to talk about charts, levels for Friday. We're here to keep updated on the market. We're here to talk about next week, right? If you guys are here for live trading, just click the X button, right? We're not going to be doing that today, right? Look, there's literally nobody trading today's session. I'll be managing my long term. I'll be talking about some swing trades today here on the session. We have an opportunity to talk about long term here. Oh, bam. Okay, there we are. Bam, right there. CME is open. ES is now trading. But look, this is not a market type for us to be going crazy on the day trades this morning. You guys know that, right? Let's just be honest about this. We're not going to pull rabbits out of hats, right? No, not many smart traders are going to be here this morning. And do you want to be a not so smart trader? Look, you may make money today, sure, but there's the opportunities are mostly going to be talking about long term, talking about the swing trades, right? And that's the best time to do that is right now because who cares about the day trades today? Let's talk about the long term stuff. Let's talk about the swing trades. Let's talk about the leaps, right? That's where the opportunity lies this morning. I think that's why we're doing this pre-market. Okay, so a little bit different of a pre-market webinar. Okay, we're going to be talking a lot about larger time frames. Okay, larger time frames. So again, if that bothers you, X button's right there. Okay, X button's right there. You press the X button. Anyway, what I will do though is we'll talk about some short-term play, a few short-term plays, just to fix your itch. Okay, your day trading itch. Okay, let's talk about Market Watch first. Let's go over our Market Watch data, then we'll jump into our charts this morning, and we'll have a beautiful pre-market webinar. Okay, so today's session, Friday, the 28th of November. This morning we have Chicago PMI at 9:45. Besides that, we have a 1 p.m. market closure. You guys already know that, right? 1 p.m. market closure. Understand that's going to result in lower volume. Understand that anytime you have a Thursday off and a Friday trading session, that's a half day. It's typically very low volume. A lot of institutions aren't trading here. You do have retail traders trading, so you may get some movement on some names. And it's not like you're not going to get any movement today. Actually, you may get movement. It's just going to be lower volume, and lower volume sometimes means harder to read. But also understand the CME was closed this morning as well. So there was a data issue on the CME. The CME is the exchange the futures trade on. Okay, so your ES, your NQ, your gold, right, your silver, the big ones, right, are all trading on the CME. They were actually halted all morning because of a data issue, and they just unhalted or just began trading about 4 or 5 minutes ago. Okay. Besides that, we have some tweets coming in with Trump this morning. The big thing was lower income taxes, baby. Nothing political, right? But that's the only good thing I've seen. The only good thing I've seen from Trump in some time. So hey, you know what? Take that as you will. But market does like that stuff. Market does like lower taxes, and market's actually reacting to that here in the pre-market session. Okay. Again, not political. Don't come at me, right? But that, I mean, who can complain? Lower income taxes. Who can complain? Okay. Next week, starting with Monday. Look, today is the last day of November. Do you want to be the schmuck that comes in today's session on the last trading day of November and gives all your gains back on for the last week. No, you don't want to do that, right? We're starting a new week next week. December 1st is Monday. It's going to be an incredible Monday because we'll be building our base back and starting the month out right. Okay, so again, just understand that today's session. Look, I'm not saying don't trade. In fact, I think every day you should be attuned to the market. You should be. That's why I'm here right now in the pre-market. Look, we only have 500 people here in the pre-market, but you were the ones that are staying tuned to the market, right? Look, reading the little PA before market open. Even if you're not trading today's session, you're seeing what's happening, and that for me, that's why I'm here too, because I want to be aware of what's going on. Even if I'm not actively day trading this market, I want to know what's happening. I want to see what's happening. So on Monday session, I'm not all groggy and messed up and like wondering what's going on, because on Friday I was there. On Friday I saw it, right? So we're here today. We're going to talk about the intraday charts. We're going to talk about the long-term charts. But the big thing for today's session is the longer term ideas. The longer term thesis is going to be what today our pre-market is based around. Okay, so let's dive into next week. Again, auto sales Tuesday, who cares about that? Wednesday, ADP. Thursday, jobless claims. Friday, PCE. PCE is going to be big. PCE is the biggest report for next week. Okay, all right, let's go into our charts now. Let's have a time here on SPY. Let's dive into SPY chart. So what happened on Wednesday session? Okay, for people who want the intraday analysis, bear with me for a few minutes. This is gonna satisfy your thirst here. Okay, so this would be what you want. Okay, so today here, or yesterday, or really Wednesday session, Thursday the market was closed. Wednesday session, we saw a classic gap and go market. Now, gap and go markets are some of the most difficult markets to trade, okay? Because if you recall from our Wednesday session, our main watch was going to be the 675 pullback long or the 670 pullback long, right? Anytime you see a gap up in the market, your thought process should always be, where's the pullback to go long, okay? And your pullback to go long was here at 675. Your pullback to go long was here at 670. And we did not pull back to any of these pullback zones. In fact, we just basically broke the pre-market highs, moved into supply, fell back lower, and then reclaimed and ripped. And so on our Wednesday session, the only trade I had taken on Wednesday was the short right here at highs. I shorted right here at the 679.5s. You guys probably took it as well, I'm sure, because many of you guys are here in the pre-market. We talked about the pop and fade on our Wednesday session. But eventually what happened is we broke out, right? We ended up rejecting the level at first, which was your supply zone. And then, of course, we broke above the supply zone, turning it into support in the intraday, and we saw continuation of the upside. Now, here on the 5-minute this morning, you are seeing us continue to rally higher in a strong market. If you guys came to the pre-market on Monday, on Tuesday, on Wednesday, any day this week, actually, wait a second, I wasn't here on Monday. But if you came on Tuesday, right? If you came on Tuesday, you knew that we spoke about long, right? We talked about the idea of going long, and we were long on Tuesday's session. Right over here, we were long at Tuesday in the pre-market. I saw things happening on Friday and into Monday, and Tuesday, we longed everything, right? We were longing everything around the 664s. In fact, we took this bounce on that Tuesday session, and we built all these long-term ideas on this long-term thesis that the market's going to go back to all-time highs before year end. And if you did that, you're sitting very pretty this morning. You're sitting very pretty this morning going into my head is huge right now. Nobody told me this. Nobody told me this. Everyone's talking about Thanksgiving over here in the chat. No one's talking about the size of my head. All right, let's fix that. Let's fix that. There we go. Much better. That's much better. Okay. So anyway, what am I saying? Basically, I'm tuning my horn a little bit. Okay, I'm tuning my horn a little bit. Right. We were right about the upside move. We were right about it. We nailed the long on Tuesday. On Wednesday session, we got the short side trade. Now today, here on Friday, what's going to happen? Well, here's the thing. Today we're on low volume, so anything that can happen here. Anything can happen today. Literally anything can happen today. But what I would look for, the most technical best case scenario here, I have notes over there. The most technical best case scenario here is going to be a pullback in demand, right? Our 675 pullback long would be your gift today. If you want a Christmas gift, right? This is your Christmas gift. It's the 675 pullback long. This may not happen today because we're low on lower volume, but this would be your top watch. This and even this would be a top watch. Why am I saying that? because any red in the market that comes in my opinion, is a market that's still searching for demand. Okay. We need to see the market produce a high, a low, a high, a low, a high. And we've already done that. Now we need the low to form here for upside to continue, right? The idea that I'm trying to say here is the market needs to produce a swing low at demand, and it's going to be either here or it's going to be here. Those are the two swing lows I'm seeing here in the market that I'm watching for long side trades. Okay, so 675 and 670, those are the two pullback longs. That's asking for a lot though, transparently, right? We may also turn the 679.5s into support today, which is obviously a key support. This was the level we shorted on our Monday or Wednesday session. We've now broken above it Wednesday. So if you want to look for some crazy longs today, it's here. This is your crazy long opportunity, right? It's a bit close, but it's there, right? That's again support. We must understand that any level of support on the market in an uptrend is an area where a swing low can be produced. So even though I am personally biased here, my bias is I don't really want the swing low to form here. I want it to form over here and here, right? Either one of these two scenarios would be my optimal scenario, but that's my personal bias. It could also very well be here at 679.50. And so really you have opportunity number one, opportunity number two, and opportunity number three as your pullback long spots today, right? So you have three different levels where the market can react, and you kind of have to just watch all three and see where does the intraday price action present. And if it presents upside at one of these levels, then even 679.5, then that's your pullback long spot today, right? The idea basically is to watch these levels and see how intraday price action reacts, and we'll trade it off of that as we get it, okay? That's what it is here on the SPY chart. Longer term thesis. You know what? Short term first. Let's do short term first, then we'll go back to longer term. So short term first, we're gonna go short term first. ES chart, right? Your level here in the ES is 68.24. I mean, come on. Look how beautiful this level is here, the pre-market session and yesterday, right? Or yesterday being Wednesday. Previous day, right? Previous day trading session, okay? So previous day trading session, Wednesday, the 26th of November, we shorted the exact high here at 68.24. Now we're above it. So if you were bearish because we were under 68.24, what are you now, right? 68.24 is support. So if you're watching for longs, it's this. It's the dip and rip. It's the dip and rip. Or that's it. That's really what we have, right? But again, if the market does pull back, don't misconstrue something, right? If you were short in the market, on this market, myself, I was short here on the session, right there. I got in and I ran out like I just robbed the grocery store, right? I ran out like I'm running out with a TV from Walmart, right? I'm out of there. I'm out. I'm not sitting and trying to be cute with it, right? I'm out because this is an uptrend in the market and we're not shorting. You're not maintaining this for crazy percentages in a bullish environment. This is a bullish environment, okay? This is not a bearish environment. Now, if you were long at support, right? If you were long at support at the 68.24s, and then, okay, you're in a little sneaky long here, right? And the market starts reacting, so you're up 10%, 20%, 30%. Just hold it, right? Just hold the trade. Trail your stops up higher. Maybe it does this. Who's to say, right? Who's to say it doesn't do that? So the idea basically is in these bullish environments, trail your positions heavily on longs. In bullish environments, if you're short, get out, right? Just get your money, walk away, run fast, and that's it. That's what it is. You have to understand. I know my analogies are not so good, but that's the way I think of it. This is how I operate. Is with these analogies, it helps me kind of. It helps me because I'm visualizing it in my head as I'm in these trades. It sounds weird, but that's what I do, right? So 68.24, it's your long spot. Your other long spots here, it's 6,800 ES. Obviously, an incredible long opportunity if we got this opportunity. I just don't know if we're going to get it, right? The 6,800 level here in ES is your top watch for longs. If you pull back there today, that's a gift. Look for longs there here on the ES chart. Okay. Again, bullish environment, but you bullish environment, but you may see a market push a swing low, and you need that to happen in a bullish environment. Okay. Let's go over Qs briefly in the Qs. Look, I mean, this is what it was here in the Qs. It was 614, right? 614 was your big technical level of supply. This was the reason why we shorted this. The reason why I shorted on Wednesday session was because of 614 level, right? This was you want the thesis, right? This was the idea. 614 was your failure point. We moved into a major supply here and we shorted it right there, right? That was your big supply zone, big short, big downside move. But then eventually what happened here? Look at what happened here. This is what I say when I say monitor intraday price action, right? Look at the first two taps of your supply. Little pin bars, right? And then finally, this is why I love trading is the best game ever, right? This is like, This is the best game because you can make so much money if you just focus on levels and intraday price action, right? That's all it is, right? 1 hour time frame levels and intraday price action. Look eventually what happens here, right? Supply, supply. You know it's supply. We knew it's supply in the pre-market, right? And then eventually, right, you knock on that door so many times and it breaks up, it breaks out, right? And you look at this chart and you say, well, Brett, how come you didn't short? How come you didn't short here? Look at this 1104 candle, right? Is there any sign of rejection at that 1104 candle? No, there's no sign of rejection, right? It's just maintaining. And then finally, it breaks it. Intraday price action showing us that it's trying to claw itself higher, right? It's clawing itself higher, clawing itself higher, clawing itself higher, clawing itself higher. That's your long opportunity right here, right? This is your long opportunity. I mean, it gave you so much time to say, get the hell into the trade. No, I didn't take this trade. Honestly, I didn't take this trade, but this was an opportunity to go long, and then obviously ripped up higher after holding that level, right? And so this morning, we are actually above the 614, right? So your big level today here in Qs is 614. If you can see us pull back today here at 614, that's your pullback long. I mean, this is probably your top watch today, right? If you were trading in the intraday price action today here on this market, right? If you were day trading today, your QQQ 614 is your top watch for longs. If you lose 614, we're going back down lower. If you hold 614, you're going back higher and you're producing a swing low here, okay? That's what it is today's session here on the Qs chart. Let's go long term for a second. I want to go long term. Like I said here, the people who are just joining in, there's no live trading. I'm not live trading today because what am I doing live trading? There's going to be 1/10 the normal volume today. I'm not doing that. But what I will do is we'll talk about some long term ideas here because it's the end of the year, right? It's the last day of November, entering the last month of the year. We must talk about long term. So where's the market going? So market on the 1 hour time frame. Let's go to the 1 hour time frame and let's stick here in the 1 hour time frame for a second. Okay. So what we're seeing right now is we're seeing the market just rip and rally off of 650. Right. So the market has ripped and rallied off of 650, and you can see that we still have a high here, and a high is trying to form here in the 1 hour time frame. I want to see us clear above 686. If we do, that's where we're confirmed for the all-time high breakout. Above 686, we are confirmed for the all-time high breakout, and we'll probably see even 700 as a low estimate on the SPY chart. So 686 breaks, that's the confirmed upside break. Right now on this chart, for me, this is still a strong chart, right? We have a little bull flag. We've reclaimed the daily 21 SMA. This is the daily 21 you can see here. Daily 21 is right there. And as long as we're above the daily 21 SMA here on the chart, I am bullish here on this market. Okay, so my goal right now is to see where does a swing low present, because every uptrend does this: high, low, high, low, high, low. I keep saying that, right? I know it's repetitive. I keep doing that. But this market does need to form a low now. Now, the low that needs to form for me has to be somewhere around these highs over here and this daily 21 SMA, the blue line of my chart. So for us to look for trades on the long term, we want to see us do this and then go higher, right? And that it would be the ultimate case scenario here on the on our month of December, right? And if you go to the daily chart here, go to the 1 day chart on this chart, right? The 1 day chart, reset everything here, just reset everything, and you'll see how strong this daily chart is. The daily chart is still very strong. But again, what would confirm this breakout will be the break above 685, 686. And really on the daily chart, it's actually 685 on the daily chart. On the 1 hour chart, 686, but on the daily chart, it's 685. So this would be the confirmed upside break, is if we can get back above this green candle here, we're going to probably go into 690, but even beyond that, I would assume a 685 break sends us to 700. I know it's crazy, but it's not that far-fetched. So again, we're not all pure bullish here, right? There is an idea like we need to see the market form a swing low, but we have the ingredients to go higher. And so let's see what happens. Obviously, we had a little bit of a pin bar candle on Wednesday that formed, but we're back above that level now this morning, right? So we're back above the pin bar, and we're trying to push higher. So I'm not saying we're going to go higher today. I'm not saying anything about today. I'm saying in a longer term thesis, it looks good, especially going into December. Look at this month here on the look at this monthly candle here. Let's look at that. Take a second, look at this monthly candle. Look, this is so important, right? Look at this monthly candle here. It flipped red and an unbelievable pin bar. We're closing this month on a very strong pin bar candle back above the daily 21 SMA. I mean, this is all the ingredients for a nice December. So let's see what happens in December, right? We have to kind of get the price action and see how things present come December 1st. But this is setting up for a very nice month. And I think we should all be excited for that, okay? Weekly time frame looks great, monthly looks fantastic, and the daily looks prime for higher if we can get back above 685, 686. Okay, so that's my idea here on the long term. Let's see what happens, right? Let's look at the ES chart briefly. ES chart, you can see it's all the same thing, guys, right? Nothing's really different here in the ES chart, right? ES chart, all the same. The level that confirms us, right? You know how important this level is. It's the 6,900 level here in the ES chart. This is the level we have to get back above here. So 6,900 here, ES. If we can break above that, then we get consistent upside back into 7,000, back into 7,000 ES. And you have all these banks coming out now with these insane estimates, right? Morgan Stanley coming out with I think it was a 7,500 estimate on the ES year end, which is, I mean, obviously probably not going to happen, but I mean, there's still aggressive estimates coming out going into a December, which is typically a strong month for us. So we should all be ready for December. And that's why today's session, like today, you should be focused on long term. You should be focused on getting yourself mentally ready, right? Don't go into today's session burning yourself out mental capital, because I think December is going to be an incredibly beautiful time to trade. Okay, let's move on. Let's go over some other long term ideas. Amazon. So we'll go over short term first here in Amazon. Amazon, I'm long Amazon. You guys know that. This is one of the long term ideas I presented to us. Amazon and SoFi were the two big long term ideas that we talked about. SoFi 24 and Amazon 224. And so Amazon we're long right now. We're not just long Amazon though. Let's not. This is what you don't want to do when you think the market's gonna go higher. You don't want to just put all your eggs in one basket, right? Because there are specific ticker news things, right? Things you can't anticipate, right? And you can't anticipate everything in every ticker. And so that's why you must have some diversification in a long-term bias, right? And that's why many of us have portfolios that have different names in it, right? We allocate things differently. We don't have all of our eggs in one basket. Even the top funds in the world, they don't just go all long Tesla, right? I mean, there are some funds that do that, but most of them don't do that, right? Because you don't know everything. There's some things that may happen that you just don't know about. And so here at Amazon, it looks still good for us. But I'm going to reiterate that, right? You don't really know anything, right? You just kind of have an idea. You can put some money in it, got some stops placed, but you don't know everything. And for me this morning on Amazon, we longed it here at the 224s, right? Right over here, we longed it, okay? And my stop loss was initially over here at the lows. So I was risking this much here. So I was risking a considerable amount here. I was risking about almost, what was that, 215.50 to 224. So basically $10 here I was risking on Amazon's chart. And so for me to start looking for profit taking on this chart, I want to see an equal magnitude higher of my risk. So my risk was this much, my reward has to be something in the ballpark of that. So I want to see like 234, 233, even 235 for my first trims here on Amazon equity, right? And if you're in options, then feel free to trim it, right? You're fine to trim it. But just understand, anytime you're position trading, and this is important, if you are trading anything, any asset class, you have to at least be meeting your one risk, right? So if you're risking one, your reward must be at least one in first trim. Now, I know people will say, Brett, look for 2R, right? Bullshit, right? I don't care about your 2R. Screw your 2R. Your market doesn't care about your 2R. This is what I do, and this is what it was always worked for me, right? So if I'm risking 10%, I'll take a little bit of a trimmer at 10%, or a little bit of a trim at 10%, not the whole thing, but I'll take some off. And that's what I'm gonna do here at Amazon, right? If I see us push into my 1R, which is my one risk, I'm gonna take some trims around the 233s, 234s, maybe even 235s if we get a strong candle, okay? So that's what I'm seeing here in this chart. But I do think this goes back into 260. I think it does, I really do. Why? Because look at the larger time frame here. Look at the beautiful larger time frame here on this chart, right? We've consolidated beautifully, right? A reclaim above 236 sends us back in all-time highs here with a strong reclaim candle above 233 now. I think at this point, my stop is going to be moved from here to there, and I'm holding for higher. So now my risk is no longer going to be here at 215. It's going to be here at 223. Again, I know I'm spending way too much time here. Apple. The Apple chart. So the Appler is obviously very strong. We spoke about this on Wednesday's session about the Wednesday low being that 276.50. If you guys recall, on Tuesday's session, it was all about the 276.50, okay? And on Wednesday's session, it pulled back that level. And I actually got some comments in the chat yesterday, or was it yesterday, or was it Wednesday? People took this trade. I was really happy to see people take this trade out here on Apple. Okay, so a very good chart here. If you guys took this trade, that'd be nice to hear in the chat. Let me know if you guys took this trade here or not, because I didn't even take this trade, and it makes me so happy to hear that people are actually trading these charts, because this was your top setup here on Apple. Now, here's the thing this morning. Okay, we bounced it once. We broke out here on Tuesday. We bounced it here on Wednesday. Now, you don't want to see us pull back here again today. Even if it does set up a long here at the lows, it's not a trade I take. The trade that must happen now is what? Is the break above highs. So you don't want to see us pull back the same zone and keep bouncing it, because eventually, the more times it tests it, right, the less likely the bids are to hold, and then it does this. So again, I don't like the longs here at 276.5 anymore. The only long I like here on this chart is going to be back above 280. Okay, so it clears 280. This is your long side trade today, right? That actually is set up today's session. This is a setup intraday for today's session above the 280 for longs. If we clear 280, where are we going? It doesn't take a rocket scientist to tell you that we're probably going in these highs over here. Okay, you can see here highs produced and a massive upside move above 285 or 280. Right, we're going to 285. So 280 break is your next trade here in Apple. That's what it is today's session here in Apple. Long-term idea here. I don't really have any long-term ideas here in Apple. I'm not really trading this. Look, here's the thing. If you are trading long-term ideas here, you want to be trading far away from the hourly resistances, right? Your hourly, your all-time highs. Your all-time highs on Apple are all the way here at 285. You're trading at 278, meaning your risk to reward, your reward is this much. I mean, it's not that great. Now, Apple is a name to always hold. And I'm not saying sell it. Right? I'm not saying sell it, but I'm just saying don't buy more of it from right now, right? Because we're just close to our all-time highs, right? This is an idea, okay? Let's move on. Tesla. So Tesla, this would be an idea that is a little bit further from all-time highs, right? This is a bit further from all-time highs. Now, how far from it? It's about 11% from all-time highs. This moment, we are obviously holding 415. If you recall from Wednesday's session, it was all about 415. If we were above 415, we're bearish. If we're below 415, we're bullish. And look at what happened here. Right? Again, this is why I love these pre-markets too, is because we talk about these ideas. And look at this chart, right? Beautiful sell on Wednesday's session, but we only sold as far as our demand zone. Now, I wouldn't say it was perfect because we didn't quite sell perfectly into our demand, right? The low of day was like 416.97, so it wasn't perfect 415, but it was pretty damn close. Today's session here on this chart, we are back at the daily 21 SMA. We're sitting right at resistance this morning. We should be aware of that, right? I don't know what's going to happen here, but I do think the larger term idea is bullish. Why? Because as long as we're above these lows here, lows and lows and lows and lows, we're bullish and likely making our way back into 470s. So this is what it is here in Amazon, on Tesla, right? If we're above 4 and 5 bullish, if we're below 4 and 5 bearish. Right now, you're mostly bullish. It doesn't mean you can, just because we're bullish doesn't mean you can buy calls right now though, right? Again, your long was probably in Wednesday's session. This morning, if you missed the long, then you just missed the long. We're too far away now, because if you long right now and the market does this and pulls back, right? You stop out and does this, you're gonna be really mad about that. So look again, the idea on Tesla is basically using 415 as your base. If we're above it, bullish, below bearish. Right now we're at 430. We're far away from everything, okay? And we're also sitting at the daily 21 SMA this morning, which can lead to possible rejections. So let's see what happens here on this chart. But again, not liking it today for intraday. Moving on. Let's go over NVIDIA. So NVIDIA actually is a long, okay? Look, there are some things that we spoke about NVIDIA. We spoke about NVIDIA long a few days ago, and hasn't done anything yet. NVIDIA's actually still been relatively weak. But I think if you were trying to build long-term portfolios here, this is the strongest name, one of the strongest beta names of 2025 let's repeat this. This is one of the strongest beta names of 2025. One of the most best performing names of 2025, and it is down 15% from all-time highs. That is an opportunity, right? Let's not change this, right? This is a strong name, 15% from all-time highs. If it gets 20% from all-time highs, that's where I begin buying, right? And I know you may think it's an arbitrary number, but that's just the way I like to do things. So 20%, where's 20%? That's 168, right? It's not far away here. So let's keep an eye on NVIDIA, especially as it goes into December. If we do get that dip, you know what we're doing. We're buying. By the way, Carlos Thompson, the 999. Thank you very much, Carlos Thompson. Much appreciated. That goes right to the giveaway. Also, hold on a second. Frederick Price with the 20 buck. Thank you, Frederick Price, for the 20 buck. That is very kind of you. Thank you both for supporting. You guys are absolutely awesome. Thank you both to Frederick Price, and thank you as well to Carlton Thompson 9359. Very much appreciated. That goes right to the giveaway fund. You guys are absolutely awesome. Okay, thank you. So again, long-term idea here basically is these are opportunities for us. Don't let the news change that for you. So let's watch our charts here on NVIDIA for long as we do get the pullback. Right now in the intraday, nothing's happening here. Right, nothing's really happening here in the intraday. AMD, same deal here in AMD. One of the strongest names here with a big crazy upside move that everyone said, oh my God, the market is never going to pull back here, right? And it's pulling back. So and it actually the most important level here on AMD is what? Is 185. It's 185. Guys, we're going to stay for longer today. We're going to stay for longer today. I'm not live trading, so I'm going to stay for longer. I'll be here till 9:15. I'll be here till maybe 9:10. We'll go 9:10. We'll see where we're at. Now, you know what? I don't want to give a timeout because I don't want to get tired. I'm going to lose my voice yelling at you guys. But we'll stay for a little bit longer. So we're not going to end at 9:05 today. So 185 on AMD is your main watch. Okay, this is your long-term idea here. This is your biggest bull thesis is right here at this level. This is my alert set. I know, like, look at my chart here. Sometimes it's hard. We have all these levels, right? You miss the main thing. This is the main thing. It's right there, right? It's 185, 186 here in AMD. Set your alert, bam, done, walk away, right? Now, look, you can trade it in the intraday all you want, right? On the intraday, look at the 15-minute time frame. Where are the opportunities? Well, here's the opportunity number one. It's going to be probably the short here, 225. If you do see us pop today into this level, there is a short here, 225. This is a short. It's an opportunity to scalp. But the biggest long-term idea here is this right down here. That's your long-term idea here. So watching 185, 186 for longs, it's the major break and retest hourly level. You can see the big breakout candle, double top highs produced here. We broke out with the major, what was it? It was the OpenAI partnership, right? That resulted in an upside here. And we still haven't gotten the pullback to that exact level. We will get that pullback at some point. I can almost promise you we will get that pullback at some point. Watching 185 for pullback longs. Okay. Let's move on. Let's develop some more charts here. Okay. Let's go over Starbucks, the Starbucker. Okay. This is one I'm also long. And people said, don't long this chart. Just don't long it, right? They said, when I was longing it over here, they said, Brett, don't long it. We said it on Premarket. We said, Brett, they said, don't long the chart. Don't long it, right? Starbucks is a sucky company. Nobody likes Target. Nobody likes Starbucks. I said Target. Nobody likes Starbucks. I'm up 12% now. Where you at, right? Where you at? We're up 12% now. Where you at? Look, I'm not longing Starbucks at the highs. I'm longing it at the lows because I understand that Starbucks is a good company fundamentally. I understand what happens here on these beta names. They nobody likes it when it's low. They only like it when they're high, right? Everyone loves Palantir when it's like this. Everyone loves Palantir when it's like this, right? They like Palantir when it's like this. Wow. Oh wait, not like that. Hold on a second. Hold on. I'm losing my cinematic. I'm losing my touch here. Hold on. Whoa. There it is. They like Palantir when it's like this, right? When it's, oh my God, it's so extended. Oh wait, over here. Oh my God, it's so extended higher, it's ripping and rallying, right? But nobody likes it when it's down in the gutter. And when you get these beta names, at least, I'm not talking about your Palantir, but I'm talking the beta names. These beta names, you want to be buying them when they're in the gutter, right? And so this is when we bought it around the lower 80s and even upper 78s, upper 70s. We're now up on this nicely. And my target here in this chart is going to be back in 90 plus, right? If we can get back to 90 plus, I'm out of here and selling this. That's it. I'm out. I'm done. I'm walking away, right? I stole the TV and I'm down the block already. That's what I'm doing. This is what we're doing. We're just robbing the chart. This is not a name you want to hold long term. This is a name you want to just get in, a little bit of there, or a little bit of there, you're out, right? So for me this morning, I don't want to tell you exactly where I want to exit, but it's going to be somewhere over 90, and we'll be you can see it in my chart, right? 93.58. But you know where it is, okay? That's where I'm looking to exit here. If we do get the upside move, I'm looking to exit there. My stop is going to be over here now. 82 is my stop loss, okay? That's Starbucks. We're looking for longs this one back in the highs. I think Starbucks is also still a good name to be buying even today. SoFi. Same deal with SoFi, except this is a name I'm not looking to get out, right? I'm going to be holding this for a longer term. So I loaned it back down here at 24 with you guys. If you guys came to the pre-market, we spoke about this. If you're in Honey Drip, which you should be in Honey Drip, by the way. By the way, if you're not in Honey Drip, join it. It's there's a big discount. Use my link. Use my link in the WAP bound down below. If you use my link, I make a little bit of money. So use my link in the WAP down below. It helps me, supports me as well. And there are a whole bunch of discount codes you can use on WAP. If you guys need help setting up, I'll DM me and help you. But again, in Honey Drip, we longed at 24. Also the pre-market, the webinar, YouTube, we said in the pre-market on the day was at 24 with a crazy downside day. We longed at 24, and now we're up at this point. How much? We're up a good 20% of this chart, right? But here's the thing. I want this to go back into like 32, 35 plus. So I'm not going to be selling it immediately. Like last time we longed it over here and we sold it over there. Now and that was it. And then we held our position and longed it again over here. This time I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to hold it for longer because I've already done my trims. So again, if you haven't done trims already, then feel free to trim it, right? But I think the longer term thesis here is back into 40 plus. The discount code is not working. I will find out. I've actually heard of this before. I heard some people are having trouble. If it's not working for you, DM me on Instagram and I'll help you out. DM me on Instagram and I'll make sure either I handle it or I'll get someone to help us handle it. DM me on Instagram and IG and I'll help it get sorted. Okay. Okay. So SoFi, long-term idea. This is a $40 stock. Okay. Do you want to position trade it? It's nothing wrong with position trading this chart. But this is a name you want to rob some names and some names you want to hold. And I think SoFi is the name we hold. Starbucks is the name we rob. Okay. Just a different ideology in terms of how you trade these things. Let's move on. Let's go over a few other names. What else are you guys watching? Type in the chat. I'm looking at the chat now. They said in the Discord chat, the discount code only works for new members, not renewals. No, it works for renewals, guys. So the discount code works for renewals, but it only works for the yearly renewals. So it doesn't work for monthly renewals, unfortunately. But if you are a yearly sub, if you are like a monthly sub right now and you want to buy yearly, right, it should work for the yearly, okay? If you are a yearly and you want to buy yearly, it will work for the yearly. So all the yearly renewals, it will still work, okay? Amazon. We already went over Amazon, right? Yeah, we did Amazon, guys. Robinhood. Hood. So Hood is actually an interesting one because I actually think it gave us an opportunity to buy this, and I didn't do it. Okay. I had an opportunity to either long SoFi or long Hood, and I chose SoFi because I think there is a better valuation here on SoFi. But Hood is a really good name to be in, guys. Look, fundamentally, this is a very strong stock. And the reason why I'm saying this is because they have an insane number of users. The modern day brokerage is Robinhood. That's just what it is now, right? Everyone's using Robinhood. And all the younger people, think of it like this, right? A lot of these banks are valued with one of the biggest metrics in how we value a bank is you value it based upon their holdings, right? Their actual customer holdings, the number of users and their customer holdings. How much money do they have in their storage, right? And obviously, okay, I know people who are actually fundamental traders are laughing at me right now, but I don't care. Okay, I work in equity research. This is what I've done, so I know this stuff. But that's a big way how you value a bank, right? Especially a brokerage like Robinhood. Okay, and one of the biggest things about Robinhood is their active number of daily users is extremely high. And the number of users they have most of the users they have are very they're young, right? The younger population. Okay, and so when you look at the chart, when you look at the stock, the number of average deposits for these younger individuals low, right? Because these are young professionals, right? These are young professionals. Maybe they have 10K invested, 5K invested, 2K invested, right? Small sums, right? But they have a large number of users. Now, people tend to develop bias towards a brokerage, and they stay there for a long period of time. So even though right now Robinhood, the users don't have a lot of money, right? As the kids that are using this brokerage grow older, what happens, right? They open retirement account with the brokerage. They develop more stock holdings, and next thing you know, their average number of users stays the same or maybe goes higher, but the average holdings for these users go exponentially higher as they grow older. So that's why I think like Robinhood is an incredibly good platform to have money in, right? Hood is a great platform to be invested in. Now, I want to be in this too. I was actually in it at a low number before. My average here was like $8 a share back in the day. And I'm still average $8 a share. But I want to get in around 93, 94. If I can get a pullback to sub 100 here, this is a great buy on. I know I'm kind of going over some ideas here, which you guys probably don't care about, but this is like what I think about. Robinhood is a great stock to be in at the right price. Sub 100 is a great price here. And if you look at the chart, we're still at this moment right now. We're down 15% from all-time highs here. So there's opportunity. But for me, I want to get in sub 100. I may be a little bit piggy. Maybe I'm a pig and I'm just being too greedy and won't get in. But I think you should go for it if you want it. Okay, Robinhood, good stock. Meta. I mean, Meta. It's just doing nothing. I mean, Meta's back in supply right now. It's back in the daily 21 SMA here, 636 supply. I have no involvement here. I don't plan to get involved here in Meta. This is my supply zone though. If it's going to fail anywhere, it's going to fail here. If it clears this level, you know where we're going to. But again, Meta is an opportunity as well. Like Meta, these longer term ideas I think are important on names like Meta. Okay, Meta may not be a name you want to go day trading up the wazoo because I don't really day trade Meta. But if you want to buy this long term, there is an opportunity here, right? My opportunity in Meta is back down here at the 550s, right? Back here at 550 is my main long-term spot on Meta. If we do pull back there, I'm looking for long. So if you guys are interested in that, that's my long spot. In the short term, however, we're at supply, right? You can see here, the short term, we were at a very clear level of supply. 640 is that clear leg of supply. You can see highs, and the high of Wednesday session conveniently is what? Almost 640 in that pre-market session. Guys, that is it for me here today. It's 9:17. This is the longest pre-market webinar we've ever done. So much appreciated. I know we didn't get many views today. It doesn't matter. We're not here for the views. We're just here to talk and have ideas. And for those that actually stayed throughout the whole time, you guys are much appreciated and much loved. I will see you guys on Monday. Okay, I'll see you on Monday. I'm not going to be here for Friday. Maybe I'll be in the chat typing with you guys. Maybe I'll post a text signal if I see something long term. But we're not going to be here today for Friday. On Monday, let's kill it. It's a new month. It's an incredible month for December. Let's have a beautiful time. And I'll see you all for live trading then. Okay, have a good day. Bye, guys.